People's Radio United.
Actually, I keep a very diverse group of friends, and they come from all walks of life. They come from all religious beliefs. They come from all political beliefs. And I can tell you, there are some very rational people out there who are not down with Nazi shit that voted for Trump, maybe because he wasn't Hillary, or maybe because they like this idea of bringing jobs back to the U.S., manufacturing jobs. I mean, there are some reasons to vote for Trump to a person who's not as eyes open to how shit really is as we are. There's some logical, sensible, rational reasons to vote for Trump.
But if you just look at the talking points, absolutely, because when you're making good noises into the air, like, yeah, I want to have jobs and I want to this and that, like that's going to sound good to a lot of people, right? Like if you don't look too deeply at whether or not that's actually possible, like whether coal's ever going to come back, then sure, jobs, great, everybody needs jobs.
Yeah, exactly. And but the whole thing is so there's those people who voted for him, and I don't want to demonize those people because they had their reasons that I don't object to for voting for him. But those people should even acknowledge Nazis love this guy. Go on Stormfront, see who they're talking about. They're talking about Donald Trump and how Donald Trump is going to make them great again.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, but the other people, Steve, I don't think are his main base. Like, there's some people that just said, "Oh, Hillary's evil. I'm gonna throw my vote the other way just to screw her over." Which, I mean, she was evil, but evil versus evil is still evil. But I think his main base, like the ones that go to his rallies and go crazy and he can do no wrong, those are the ones that are just horrible. I mean, the ones that call themselves deplorables because they actually are.
They're either Nazis or Nazi sympathizers.
Exactly.
And I would agree with that. I think that Steve's point makes a great deal of sense and really can't be forgotten, though, because when it comes down to it, when you look at any kind of like just demographic breakdown, the main base that's going to be the most vocal isn't necessarily a majority or even a plurality of the people who cast their vote. They're definitely the loudest voices in the mix, but the rest of those people who place that vote have to acknowledge that they're the loudest voices in the mix, even if they have the grand majority of the votes. That's, I think, a very important point, because you may have voted on a fiscal policy or something else just because you don't like Clinton or whatever, but not be a Nazi. But remember, it's those motherfuckers who are just the most literally saying Heil Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have said that. There's video. You can't deny
it. and the guy who started that got socked in the face, viral on the internet, and I love it.
I have a problem with that, and here's my problem. We shouldn't be punching Nazis. We should be killing them like our grandfathers did.
I agree.
I love you, Steve. Oh.
I mean, I'm sorry. I tried because free will and freedom of expression and freedom of speech is so important to me. I did struggle with this issue for a while, but after I read that ethnic cleansing manual, no, fuck Nazis, kill them all.
Could you share that to me, by the way, Steve, when you got a second? I need more horror in my life, but I do want to actually see this horrific thing.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, thank you.
So.
Yeah, these people are sick.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing that is also really very sickening to me, like if we're just staying on this topic for a second, is like the media encoding in the mainstream, where it's just like, why can't we just call a spade anymore? Like, that very punchable Nazi is the one who helped, coin and popularize the idea of the quote-unquote alt-right. And it's like, there's no such thing as an alt-right. You're just that far right, but you're wrong. You're so fucking wrong because you're a Nazi. And there is no Nazi light. I've said that. I'll keep saying it. There is no such thing as Nazi light. You can't say you're, for like ethnic purity or whatever without being suggesting that whether you're going to do it or not, that maybe somebody should really do something about some eugenics, or maybe somebody should really start a genocide. Like maybe that would be a great way to just like purify whatever your idea of purity is. It just there's no ethno-nationalism. There's no white isn't a nationality. It's you're a Nazi. And the media is going with it, and it's horrifying because when it's just like, we're just going to tone it down, we're going to put on our nice little Midwestern voices, and we're going to tone it down so that everything sounds like the news, and then here we're going to have this person on to talk about their horrible views, but it's okay because we're going to call them the alt-right, and here we are talking about the alt-right and ethno-nationalism. No! You're having a Nazi on to talk about Nazi things!
Yeah, but it has to do with their backers. I mean, Nazis... Well, let's just say fascists have run this country for a long, long time. And now we have more literal fascists that could be called Nazis running it. And what are they doing? They're robbing the country blind to fill the pockets of these rich corporate people who are also fascists and want to take our rights and are white supremacists in most cases.